So definitely a beautiful day for racing here at Winchester Speedpark. And we got a lot of folks here with us today, so please make sure when you head down to the line, you have everything you need when you get down there, so we don't have to hold up those hands. Takes up a couple minutes. That's a lap of racing. We got a lot of folks here. We want to get a lot of racing in, so please make sure you are set to go when you head down there. Folks, make sure if you've got folks coming out here or if you're moving around the track to go different places, you got to keep those vehicles parked off the roadway. You cannot park out on the road surfaces. So you need to get off the roadway. You need to keep that entire road area clear for all the vehicles here. Here with us today, so please make sure when you head down to the line, you have everything you need when you get down there, so we don't have to. So it looks like final lap here for the second round of men and women riders. 65cc riders lined up on the gate. Great turnout here. Going to have some great racing here at Winchester. Round 2 for the spring series for Winchester. And round 2 for the folks from NEMX as well. NCSC and NEMA in the house here. We hope everyone's going to have a great day of racing here today. Probably have a very low doing that. Mostly because we haven't told anybody about where the stream is yet. That's would preclude you from watching it. I've got a couple laps to go here. The 65cc riders practice session. Final practice session of the morning, 50cc Open. Looks like it's going to be moto number 1. So we should definitely have some good racing here today. I know we're going to probably have some qualifiers in some of these classes. You'll have to pay attention where division racing is. So clicking off laps here in the amateur riders practice session. Once again, want to remind folks, if you have people coming to visit you here today, make sure they are parked. And that'll bring the checkered flag out here for the amateur riders practice session. So that will put the amateur riders all set with their practicing. Once again, want to remind folks, if you're a one-day rider, you need to make sure you have X's on all of your number plates. You need to have those X's on all 3 number plates, front and both sides. So just watching some of these faster 85cc riders here coming down that inside rhythm section, man, there is already some pretty rough lines on that inside. And we have got some quick riders in this class here today, so it should be an interesting day of racing. So once again, hopefully anybody who's following along online, we want to just welcome you in here, doing a little bit of testing. folks over there, they have the factory connection. Those guys will get you set up to go. If you got any questions about how to get the most performance out of your suspension, you are definitely going to go and talk to the right folks there if you go over to the factory connection rig. So 50cc open riders lining up for moto number 1. Lights riders, 250A, you should be in the staging area for moto 2. 250B riders, you have moto number 3. Then, like I say, 250C, we have qualifying rides in that one, division 1 and 2. So if you're a 250C rider, double check and make sure which division you're in. We have qualifiers in the Super Mini as well as the 85cc. So once again, make sure you check your posting board there to see which division you're in. Make sure you're on the gate for the correct vision race. So just a few minutes here, we'll get underway with the first moto of the day, doing a little bit of smoothing out in front of the track surface there. Right in front of the gate, and get a little bit of things smoothed out as we have the 50cc open lined up on the gate. Once again, 250A riders, you should be in staging for moto 2. 250B riders, you have moto number 3. 250C, we have division racing in 250C class, so we have division 1 and 2. Check and see which one of those ones you need to be in. If you're a division racer, make sure you check your results after your first moto. Make sure you make your way directly to the second half, otherwise you'll have to be ready to go to the LCQs. The LCQs will run at the end of the first half. So 250C, Super Mini, and 85C, we have qualifiers in all those divisions. Riders lining up on the start gate there. Still lining them up on the 50cc open as far as the eye can see. The gate is nothing but 50s. Make sure we keep all the road surfaces clear for emergency vehicles that get in and out of this area. Straightened out here before we get underway with racing. As I said, we got a bunch of folks here. So just making sure we have everything straightened out there. Once again, while it's a little bit quiet, I want to remind folks, those stop signs you see out in the center there as you go by the staging area, that means don't ride your bike past that area. If you're riding out to the staging area, you should be going to staging only. Don't ride in that center area where the spectators are. Don't go down the right-hand side. You'll notice those big red stop signs there. That's right, they mean stop. for racing here today. Thank you. And we have got them lined up down on the gate. So 30 board goes up, and we're going to get set to go racing here. Going to make their way up into that big sweeping center turn. So 50cc open riders out on the track, first moto of the day here today. Switching out to the back section there, you can see the 24 Coble heading out to the back corner. And it looks like it is still Artizzoni, Martin, and Arruda, second, third, and fourth there right behind them. There's the 24 Coble going into the big sweeping right-hander across the center of the track. So Artizzoni maintains that second place position. Coble making his way all the way out to the very center section now. He's all the way in the back center. The battles of Owen Coble taking the moto win here in the 50cc Open. There's the 188, Ashton Arruda with the second spot. The 67 Valley Motorsports, Bazooka Joe's Factor Performance Ride. Braden Martin will come across the line in third. And the DF Plumbing KTM, Vincent Artizzoni will bring it across the line fourth. So Travis Marsh in the lead as they come up that center rhythm section. Looks like Ben Robinson on the 230. Who do you need still? Marcos de Silva. Have attention, please. Marcos Da Silva, please go back down to the sign-up booth. Marcos Da Silva, please go back down to the sign-up booth. So coming out of that back corner section, looks like it is going to be Travis Marsh still trying to stretch it out. Taranto and Ricky Langella. That is the field here in the 250A. 250B next off the gate. So solid start for Travis Marsh. He has not looked back right from the gate drop. Ryder has been getting it done out front. And Marsh quadding through that section right before the finish. Marsh down the right-hand side. Robinson hitting that big tabletop as he heads down the right-hand side as well. Borello, Cohen, McDonald right behind him in form. So this is 250A out on the track right now. This is moto number 2 in the order. 250B riders next off the gate. Riders in the 250C Division 1 and 2. You should be in the staging area. Once again, make sure you know which division race you're supposed to be in. So looks like we're going to continue to watch the 431 of Marsh put on a clinic here as he is on his way into that horseshoe turn section once again. And again, he's going to quad in that section right before the finish. So way to the checkered flag, and there you go. That's the race win for the 431. And we are underway racing here in the 250B. And out front with the whole shot in that one, the Excel Recycling A1 Parts Twin Air Ride of Josh Pease. Five, running in fourth, that's Guillaume Saint-Cyr. Breen Burke going to round out the top five. Running in sixth, you got the 660 of Camden Munn. Drew Laseca running in seventh. Steve Oldham eighth. Joe Stewart on the 533 and ninth. And rounding out the top 10, it looks like actually is going to be the 533 is Stewart. No, that's Wallstrom, the 233 going to round out the top 10. So now the 238 is sixth, and that's the 533 Joe Stewart running in seventh. On the 660, Camden Munn's going to drop down to the eighth spot. Jeremy Wallstrom running in ninth now on the 233, and it's going to be the 981 Pilgrim Power Sports Ride of Steve Oldham rounding out the top 10 now. So there goes Bushy across the inside, and now here comes the battle for second. There goes Bilodeau right across the inside, big right-hand sweeper. St. Cyr trying to track him down. And both riders going to head off to the back section. And the checkered flag is going to come out here. That'll be the race win. There's the 238. Kyle Bushy, the Mohawk Racing North Star Motorsports rider. He is going to take the win. 4:05, Zach Bilodeau going to hang on to it. A little pressure there on the final lap, but the Central Mass Power Sports, JDK Pavement, Alias Ride, going to hang on for second. There is Guillaume St. Cyr, the Michelin-back Honda rider, in third. .855 Yamaha. There's Greenberg. He's going to hang on to the fourth place spot. And there is Josh Fees to round out the top five as we get set to go with C, Division 1. Hey, what's up, man?
I need a brake pedal.
And that looked like the 197 of Nick Cooper with the whole shot for Light C Division 1. Out front, that is Mark Rohe. Nick Cooper in the second spot. So the 197 rider hanging on a second. And Casey Warger on the KSW building ride in the third spot. Kyle Bilodeau in fourth. Steve Sykes, the 118, going to run and round out the top five. 128 in sixth. That is Ed Ploss. Danny McNamara in seventh. Jerry Bolduc eighth. Steve Stefanik in ninth. And looked like we had the number 10 of John Pessoa in there in the 6th or 7th spot there, trying to get a look at what the scoring is. He's going to hold on to it, but boy, the 197 of Hooper all over him now. There's the the 118 of Steve Sykes moving to third. Kyle Bilodeau running on the number 30 here today, the Central Mass Power Sports rider. He is going to move himself up into the fourth spot. Casey Warger rounding out the top five. Ed Ploss running in sixth. Danny McNamara going to make the drop down now, though. He's going to be out of the top 10 as Bolduc moves to seventh. Stefanik eighth, Dominic Pachone in ninth, and Cameron Campbell now going to round out the top 10. Let that one go. And able to hold on to it. Nick Hooper, the 197, will come across the line in sixth. There's the 118 of Sykes. He'll finish it up in third. Kyle Bilodeau, the JDK Pavement, Central Mass Power Sports rider, is going to bring it across the line in fourth. And Casey Warger, the KSW building rider, will round out the top five. And we're going to get set to go now with 250C. All right, so the 277, Tyler Burnside holds the lead. Looks like the 613, Justin St. John making a move to second. The 125 ride of Aaron Gadd running in the third spot as they go across the inside center section. And there is Ulita down to the horseshoe turn section. So the 277 hanging on to the top spot. So there is Tyler Burnside out front with the lead, 6:13. There is Justin St. John in second. Whoa, big mistake in the finish line turn for the 125 of Gadd. He's going to hang on to third, though. In fourth on 4:13, that's Brian Llewellyn. Rounding out the top five is going to be the 65 of Matt Cashman. Matt Cashman. Nope, that is the 125 of Gadd trying to hang on to that third spot. So Gadd trying to hang on to it. Llewellyn right there on him on the inside, but can't make the pass happen. So Tyler Burnside, Justin St. John, Brian Llewellyn, Noah Horton, just Juan Salmon, and Cole Hall. Cody Karen, Jake Walker, Sean Willis. That's your top 10 riders. Again, the 65 of Matt Cashman in the mix as well, but I think right now he doesn't have a transponder running. Looks like it's still the 26, Justin Allen, holding down the lead here in the 65cc class. The 111, Larry Fortin, making the move into second on the Manchester Honda ride. Up as they come through the rhythm section. So that is going to bring out the two-lap board. There's your leader making his way to the finish line turn, the 26 of Justin Allen. The 111, Larry Fortin. Good solid run for that man. And your leader going to make his way down the left-hand side. So Justin Allen smooth down to the horseshoe turn section. And the 26, Justin Allen, having some problems in that rhythm section on the final lap here. He's going to go down. The 111, Larry Fortin, is going to take over the lead. So there's the 111 coming out of the S-turn section. And there is Allen right behind him in the second spot. We're underway with 65C 7 and 12 Division 1. And Hanisch trying to hang on to the lead, but it looks like it's going to be the 734 of Aiden Klingen making the pass. So Klingen goes to the outside right in that big sweeping right-hander. Out the top 5 on the 47. And it looks like he got the 916 of Jake Lynn. So Lincourt in 6, Ed Rowell 7th. Running in the 8th spot on the 999, the Motorsports Nation O'Neill, Epic Cameras Ride of Dan Choquette. In 9th on the 318, you got Carter Crosby, and rounding out the top 10, it's going to be the 311. That is Tyler Siegel. A top 9 finish to move directly into the second half. So it is Aiden Klingen, Matt Hanisch, Devin O'Leary, Eric Kinsley, Shane Andrews top 5 now, as Lincourt having a little bit of trouble. And there is the 916 Lincourt. He's hanging on a 6. Carter Crosby. So once again, make sure if you're running in division racing, you check your results. And there's your leader down to the horseshoe turn section on the final lap. Aiden Klingen, the 734, coming to the finish line turn. And that is going to be the checkered flag for the 734, so he'll take the moto win. Good battle going on for second place here. Hanisch on the number 5, going to have to work for it. He'll get it, though. So Beckwith with a nice start here in the 65C Division 2. So again, it is top 16 out of the division racing that goes directly to the second half. The rest of the riders go to the LCQ, where we will take 8. So top 16 from each of the division races. If you're a rider racing division racing, make sure you check your results. Front, the 800 Colin Pouch in the second spot. On the 978, Dylan Barnaby up into third. Running in fourth, there's the 25 KTM of Tyler Babowitz in the 5th spot. It's going to be the rider on the 67, the Valley Motorsports Bazooka Joe's Factory Performance KTM rider, Braden Martin. 526, Taylor Beckwith in 6th, Josh Mazzone 7th, DF Plumbing ride of Vincent Artisoni 8th, Josh Siegel on the 21 running in 9th, and it looks like it's going to be Liam Murphy rounding out the top 10 on lap 1. Way down to that horseshoe turn section as we continue to click off the laps here in the 65cc Riders 7 to 12 Division 2 racing. Looks like the 800 of Pouch continuing in that second spot, and I believe that is the 978 of Dylan Barnaby running third. The one lap board is out here. So it is Logan Barnaby, Colin Pouch, Dylan Barnaby still top 3. We are looking for the 255 to make its way down to that horseshoe turn section one more time. Looks like Pouch on the 800 continuing to hang on a second, and here comes the checkered flag, so that's going to be the race win. The 255 out of Stonington, Connecticut is Logan Barnaby. There's the 800. Here we go with the 40 plus B gate drop. And that one looked like it was a 67 Naltz Wyndham Motorsports AXO FMF GoPro factory connection ride. John Watkins with the whole shot. And up that center rhythm section, taking the lead on the 16 is John Dowd. You got the number 6 of Keith Johnson making a move to second. And it looks like Cohen still hanging right there in third on the 67 as they go to the back left corner. And the B class, that's actually the 167 of Adam Villeneuve out front. So that might have been the 167 of Villeneuve with a whole shot there. I didn't get a look at that number. Them little thin numbers there. All right, so Dowd and Johnson making their way down to the horseshoe turn section. A little ballet going on at the front here. Those guys go back and forth with the lead. Wilcox working seriously on Cohen, though, trying to get that third spot. So it is Dowd, Johnson, Cohen, Wilcox, and Morin. There's your top 5 in the A class. And you get a little look over there as Dowd and Johnson head over that big tabletop going down the right-hand side. top 10. So final lap here, 40 plus A and B. We're looking for the 6 of Johnson, 16 of Dowd to make their way down through traffic here. Looks like that is Dowd heading down to that turn right now. So that is going to be the checkered flag, the race win for the DCS Financial Group. Chaplin Motorsports, JYD Ride. That is John Dowd with the win. Johnson right Chase right there with him. Chase, the Thunderbolt MX Factory Connection Suzuki rider, had a good start there, but it was the 747 of Fleming able to take it. And looks like Fleming on the 747 hold lead, and I believe that's 238 of Bushy making the move to second. Lead is down through the horseshoe turn section. And there is the 747 Honda Will Fleming with lead, 238 of Bushy in the second spot. Up into third now on the 223. That is Jeremy Wall. And Kyle Bushy, nice run in the second spot right behind Fleming. Pretty close in lap times. Fleming's got him by about a second and a half. Here's the 223 of Wallstrom, solid third run going. Wallstrom, whoa, a little nose high over the finish there. Able to get them gathered under together. Wheelock continues fourth. There's the 801 of Garrity now into fifth. And that's going to drop McNeely down out of the top five. Difference between the two of them that time around. Still a very solid run for Bushy. And here is Wallstrom, the 223 rider. He's been in third for this moto. And there is Wallstrom still holding on to third, but it looks like he's starting to get reeled in by the 801 of Garrity. So we'll see if Garrity can make something happen here on the final lap. He was significantly quicker that time around than Wallstrom. He was 3 seconds faster that last lap than Jeremy Wallstrom was. So Garrity looking to pick up another spot here as the laps wear down. are looking for Will Fleming to make his way down the left-hand side of the track. He's going to come down to the horseshoe turn section one final time here. And that is going to be the checkered flag, the race win here in the Youth AD for the 747 Honda ride, Will Fleming. Mohawk Racing, North Star Motorsports. And that one looked like it was the 18 of Brady Hill with a hole shot. Not really sure there. There was some, might have been Hooper on the 197, might have been a 190. I have no idea. These numbers are teeny. It does look like it was the 197 there of Hooper with the hole shot. To move to third, Nolan Fiella fourth. Kyle Bilodeau rounds out the top 5 on the 30. Then you got Dustin Maynard, Riley Maynard, Andrew Pont, Antonio Pizzonia, and Dave Rothwell through the top 10. So lead pack of riders heading down that center rhythm section. And we have a GoPro that ended up on the finish line. All right, into the S-turn section. Here comes the 197 Hooper making a challenge after Willis. And Willis is going to get him, it looks like. So the 197 Hooper got him briefly, but Willis gets him back. And he's going to hold the lead. So the checkered flag going to come out. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the one lap board. My mistake. So one more time around as this battle is going to continue. So Sean Willis, Nick Hooper, 1 and 2 right there. A little mistake for the 277 of Burnside. He's going to hang on to third, though. Whoa, Fiella, feet off the pegs. Hang on to it, young man. At the finish, hang on to it, Nick. Sean Willis on the 356, going to take that second spot. There's the 277 of Burnside, third. Nolan Fiella on the 189, fourth, and it's rounding out the top 5. Central Mass Power Sports, JDK Pavement, Shoei, Alias Ride, and Kyle Bilodeau. So there is Allen. Looks like the 111 Larry Fortin making a move into second early on. And looks like Tristan King and Jake Friedman third and fourth as they go up that center rhythm section. So there is the 26 Allen making his way down to the horseshoe turn section, leading this moto here in the 65 Open. There's Fortin down to that. So Justin Allen, solid run out front on the 26. He's going to get the 2-lap board. And there is the 111. Larry Fortin has just been bulldogging Justin Allen all day long here. Last weekend they duked it out as well. Those guys went at it tooth and nail. So Fortin is going to try to track down Allen again. Riders in the Super Mini Division 1, you should be in the staging area. Super Mini Division 2 riders, you should be in pre-staging. And this will be first call for the 450A riders down to pre-staging. And you see Justin Allen working through some lap traffic there as he goes through the horseshoe turn section. And lap board here, so 1 to go for the 26 of Allen. Fortin working through lap traffic as well. As they go off to the back left corner. Is Yulita coming down the left-hand side into the horseshoe turn section. There's Justin Allen into the turn right now. And he's going to come down that finish line rhythm section one more time. And that's going to be the race win here in the 65 Open for the Cactus Jacks KTM ride. That is we are going to get set to go here with the 40-plus novice. On the 211 Suzuki, that's going to be Sean Taylor with the hole shot. Mark Caputo 7th, Ron Hanisch 8th, Vladimir Gliassi running in the 9th spot, and Artur Aguiar rounding out the top 10. Of Newt going to drop back to 4th. Here's the 100, making a move up. So picking up some spots there on that lap. And still way down in the order, unfortunately. So it is going to be Billy Dodge into 6th. Mark Caputo 7th. There is your leader on the 211 up into that off. This is going to be the one lap board this time around. Number 5 of Jacob still maintaining that 3rd spot, but the battle out front definitely walking away from him a little bit. So there is the 211 and the 635. That is Kessler and Taylor. So there is the 211 of Kessler and Taylor. Both one riders going to use the outside line in that off camber turn. And it looks like the Suzuki of Taylor may. And we are going to get set to go racing here with the Super Mini Division 1. Once again, if you're a rider in division racing, you need to make sure you check your finish results. You need to be top 16 out of your division race, or else you got to go to the LCQ. We take 8 out of the LCQ. So top 16 in the division race to go directly to the second half. Otherwise, you got to be in the LCQs. Make sure you check your results. And we're going to count them down the line here for Super Mini Division 1. And Justin Coquinos controlling the outside for the 444 for the whole shot. Brady Hill into the 2nd spot. The 73 Cordigiano drops back to 3rd. Nolan Fiella running in 4th. And then you got Hunter Colley on the 57 running in the 5th spot. And he's going to get Fiella as Fiella goes wide after the finish. Brandon Gregori in 6th, Angelo Polino 7th, Seth Nicolo 8th, Phil Steinbach, the Factory Connection Scott Motorsports rider in 9th, and Dave Rothwell, the Adrenaline Rush Motorsports rider, going to round out the top 10 on lap 1. So solid run for Coquinos. Brady Hill continues 2nd. Hunter Colley making some moves now as he's up into the 3rd spot on the 57. Fiella will drop down to 4th, and it's going to be the 913 of Brandon Gregori moving into the top 5 now. Polino into 6th, running those day glow numbers. Nicolo 7th. Steinbach in 8th. Looks like Cordigiano having some problems. He's down to 9th on that lap. And Molsky on the 100 is going to move into the top 10. Division 1. Once again, if you're a Division rider, make sure you check your results. You need to be in the top 16 to go directly into the second half. Then we take top 8 from the LCQ. The rest of them are done for the day. Here we go with Division 2. And nice run on the inside. The 91, Brian Borghesani, going to take the whole shot there. Kevin Hill, the Hilson Contractors rider, had a good run as well, but he got pushed a little wide, and Borghesani takes it. So Borghesani out front taking the lead. It's going to be the 222 Loud Fuels ride of Nate Tasha into the second spot. And it looks like the 205 Hilson Contractors ride. And there is your leader down that rhythm section right in the center on the 91. That is Brian Borghesani. So look at your leaders down the left-hand side. So there is Borghesani. Here comes the 105. It looks like Holden King going to make the move into second as he gets to the horseshoe turn section. And he's going to get on the inside of Tasha to take the spot. 1 to go. And Tasha with a little mistake in that rhythm section. That's going to leave a little more room for Holden King now. And the 105, that's Holden King. He'll bring it across the line to hang on to the second spot. 222, Loud Fuels ride. Nate Tasha across the line third. The Murdoch Racing Yamaha ride of Kyle Murdoch fourth. And the Hilson Contractors ride, Kevin Hill, will round out the top 5. That is going to do it here for the Super Mini Division 2. So there's your leader down the left-hand side. Looks like the 23 of Clark in command early here. And that looks to be the 431 of Marsh making a move into second. So Clark and Marsh 1 and 2. There's McDonald in third. On the 16, on the 6, Keith Johnson running in the fourth spot. John Borello, the 88, rounds out the top 5. John Dowd on the 16, running in 6th. Then you got Pat DeLowry, the Bubba's Motorsports rider, 7. Ryan Dowd, the Chaplin Motorsports rider, in 8th. And Corey Rousseau, 9th. Chase Simone on the 27 around. Is Keith Johnson going to drop back one? Looks like Borello might have got him. So Borello gets around Johnson to take that 4th spot. Johnson will drop back to 5th. There is Dowd in 6th. Lowry is still 7th. 66 of Corey Rousseau moves up to 8th. Ben Robinson 9th, and Chase Simone still rounds out the top 10. So it is no change in the running order here as Clark continues to lay down the quick laps. That time he put it down to a 142. Marsh, McDonald, Borello, and Johnson all still very quick out there. So working off the laps here in the 450A. No big surprise to find Josh Clark out at the front of the pack. Clark has been on a run here. He's definitely got the pace of the class right now. So 1 to go as Clark makes his way over the finish line jump. Borello now able to get clear of McDonald, and now here comes Johnson working on Sean McDonald. So Keith Johnson making a late moto charge, and now here comes the 16 of John Dowd up in the mix as well. So Clark through the inside. And looks like the 45, Jake Shanis making a charge after the 30 of Eric Burns, and Shanis has the inside line, and he's going to make the pass. We'll see if he can make it stick going off to the back left corner. So down the left-hand side. And the 7-11 of Luke Neff closing up on the leader as they go over that big tabletop off to the back left corner. So Jake Shanis going to have his hands full here as Luke Neff has closed right up on him. And Lita's out to the back left corner. And it looks like Lucas Neff has been able to close the gap on Shanus a couple of times, but he just can't find a spot to make a pass. There you see him going through the horseshoe turn section. And that big, all right, through the inside rhythm section there. Looks like Shanus has gained a little ground now on the 7-11 of Lucas Neff. Neff still strong in the second spot, but he's starting to lose touch with the leader just a little bit. 450B out on the track. 450C riders will be next off the gate. Riders in the 50 plus and women's class, you should be in staging. Two-stroke open riders, you should be in pre-staging. So there is the 45. Jake Shanus making his way down the left-hand side. And one more trip down through that horseshoe turn section. And that is going to be the checkered flag to race win here in the 450B. The rider on the 45, that is the Pilgrim Power Sports ride of Jake Shanus. 7-11, that is the Kawasaki of Lucas Neff. He's going to finish it up in second. And this one's going to... Riding on the 151, that is the Beck's Auto Repair Williamsburg Pharmacy ride of Andy Browski with the whole shot. A couple riders going down hard at the start there. Looks like everybody going to be standing up. So right there to take advantage on the number 800, I'm sorry, the 900, that is Kyle Burke. So Burke takes the lead. Browski drops down to second. The 802 of Jason Green running in third. It is going to be Mike Germain running fourth. Danny McNamara rounds out the top five. Then you got Alex Adams in sixth. Cameron Campbell running seventh. Cole Hall eighth. Kyle Kezia in ninth. And Cody Karen is going to round out the top 10 there. So the 900 of Burke there to take advantage. A little miscue by the 151. Oh, and it looks like Browski has stalled the bike at the top of the off camber. Still trying to fire that thing off. And that is definitely going to cost him some time. And he is going to be out of the top. And 410 of Cole Hall getting a little sideways coming down that. through the off-camber turn there. You can see Hall going to the high line. Cameron Campbell uses the inside. And there is the number 7 of Campbell and the 410 of Hall down that inside rhythm section. On the 605, that's the Thunderbolt MX Factory Connection Kenny G's Performance Tuning Ride at Kendall Chase. So solid start for Kendall Chase. She's out front for the women's class. Leaders in the 50 plus making their way back up that center rhythm section. Looks to be Martell, the 360. And there is the 605. Kendall Chase up into the mix now. She's your leader in the women's class. In the second spot, it is the 23 of Alyssa Caputo making her way to the finish line turn. Running in third on the 38 HK Power Sports Spectro Kawasaki is Jessa Fahey. The 18's Factory Connection Suzuki of Sierra Bernard in fourth. And looks like it's going to be the 279 of Carrie Reyes rounding out the top 5. Hannah King right there with her though on the 313. And looks like Stephanie Hanneman in the mix as well, trying to get into the top 5. And the 605, Kendall Chase, she is working her way through traffic now at the first gate drop. So Chase has her work cut out for her here. So winding down the final couple laps here. One lap board is out. We're going to see if Druin can catch the 8 of Martell. And it looks like they are going to come down out of the back section, out of the S turns, and it looks like Martell is maintaining the gap. So there's Martell, there's Druin. And it looks like we're going to get set to go racing here in the 2-stroke open. looked like the 855 of Green Burke getting through the turn first with the whole shot. So there is Burke on the 855. He's got the early lead on the 801. In the second spot is Nathan Garrity. 351 of Cordigiano running in third. On the 862, Gilmore in fourth. The 151 rounding out the top five, though, is Caleb Trombley, the Davenport trucking rider. Kyle Burke in sixth, Justin Curtis in seventh, Brian Caputo eighth, Travis Winchell ninth, and Will Pybus, the 46, going to round out the top 10. Jake Walker just outside the top 10, looking in there on the Thunderbolt MX ride. So there is the 855. Going to get the two-lap board. The 801 of Garrity in the second spot right behind him. There is the 351 of Cordigiano. Trombley on the 151 holding down fourth, but here comes the number 9 Mountaintop Trucking Curtis Excavating REP ride. Justin Curtis around into the fifth spot, and he's trying to track down the 151. Kyle Burke on the 900 right there in sixth, Caputo seventh, Gilmore eighth, Winchell ninth. And it looks like Pybus is going to continue to round out the top 10 on the 46X. All right, Curtis making his way up around Trombley now to get into that fourth spot. So Curtis picking up the pace there. He's running a 159 last time around. But right now it is the 855 of Breen Burke with the fast lap on the track. He's got a 153.5 in this class. Across the line to hang on at third. Justin Curtis on the Mountaintop Trucking Curtis Excavating Yamaha going to hang on to that fourth place spot. And it is going to be the 151 Davenport Trucking LB Manufacturing Poplar Hill Machine ride of Caleb Trombley rounding out the top five. That'll do it for two-stroke open. Shot. Owen Coble out here. So Coble leads him down the right-hand side here in the 50cc 7-9. Rounding out the top 10 on lap one for the 7-9 class. Eric Franklin in 11th. It is Ginger Osgood on the 22 running 12th. The 417 Juliana Walker 13th. Kyle Flaherty on the 385 14th. Noah Stewart in 50th. Joe Pizzonia in the 16th spot on the 789. Joe Brothers on the 96. 17th. Sean Kelleher running in 18th. Jaden Doyen running in 9th. And it's going to be Gavin Philbrook rounding out the top 20. And the 67 of Martin making his way around the 7 of Artizzoni. So Martin makes the move into second. Looks like a little bit of trouble from the 188 of Aruda as he has dropped out of the second spot. He's going to drop down into fourth now, it looks like. And he's going to continue to fall, looking to see where he comes around here. So Koval with the lead. Braden Martin in second. Vincent Artizzoni running in third. Gavin LaRose fourth. Quinn moves up to fifth. Nolan Palmer in sixth. Jack. And we are looking for Koval to make his way down to the finish line turn here. And there is the rider on the 24. Checkered flag race win here in the 50cc 7 and 9. Owen Koval with a lead on the number 5. It is Carrington in the second spot. There's the 101 of Danilo Pinheiro running in third. Cody Beckwith, the Edelman Sales CD Davenport trucking rider in fourth. The 919, Liam Corman running in the fifth spot. On the 121, it's going to be Quan Matiola running in sixth. Travis Spinello running in the seventh spot. And there's the 91 running in eighth is Mason Call in the ninth spot on the 365. All right, battle for the lead through the horseshoe turn section. And it all right, so all the out the back left corner. Looks like Nettleton hanging on to the lead. right, so that is going to do it here. 50cc 4 to 6. Open A and B next off the gate. All right, so Clark out in front. Looks like McDonald trying to hang on to the second spot, but he's got the 238 of Ben Robinson putting pressure on him already. So Clark with the lead. There is the 228, Sean McDonald hanging on to that second spot. Robinson third, Bushy in fourth. Travis Marsh going to round out. So Clark maintains the lead. There is McDonald. There's Ben Robinson. There's Travis Marsh making the move to fourth now. Bushy on the 238 going to drop down to fifth. Got Keith Johnson working on him now, though, and you got James Cohen in the mix as well. Keith Johnson makes quick work of getting around into that fifth place spot on the number 6. Johnson's going to give up that spot. Cohen will move into the fifth place position. And that is going to be the number 94, the KSW Building Rider, Casey Warger with the hole shot. And Warger is going to lead him down the right-hand side there. That might be the 111 of Juan Salmon taking the lead. And it is. So Salmon would lead the 118 of Sykes in second. Casey Warger running in third. Brian Llewellyn fourth. The number 10 of Jonathan Pessoa going to make the move around into fourth. That's going to put Llewellyn into fifth. Casey McNamara in sixth. Dominic Pichon running in seventh. Steve Taylor eighth. Scott McCrae ninth. Joe Salvano running in the 10th spot here. Inside line there. There's the 118 of Steve Sykes in the second spot. And now the number 10 of Pessoa makes the move to third. Llewellyn going to get the inside, and Llewellyn's going to take that third spot. So Pessoa fourth. Warger drops down to fifth. And now it's Dominic Pichon running in 16. And here they come down to the horseshoe turn. Sykes right through the middle, tries to get around the outside of Salmon. Can't make it happen there. And down to the finish line turn they go. So the battle continues one more time around. Sykes is going to try the outside again. See if he can get it. No, Salmon's going to shut down that line going into turn two. So Sykes switches it up. And it's still a side-by-side battle down the right-hand side. So there is your leader on the 111 through the horseshoe turn section one more time. And that is going to be the checkered flag. So the race win will go to the 111 Suzuki ride of Juan Salmon. On the 118, the Yamaha of Steve Sykes will finish it up in second. Brian Llewellyn on the 413 will finish it up in third. The 114, Justin Lato right there with him. Lato will finish at fourth. And that is the 128 of Dominic Pichon rider with the lead. So all the way out to the back left corner they go. So there is the 222. Tasha making his way through the horseshoe turn section. Looks like the 444 of Justin Kukinos making the move to second. You got to go over and see Paul over at the Buckley Photos rig. Paul's been out shooting this morning. I think he said something like 700 shots this morning just in practice. Some insane amount. Make sure you get over there. I'm sure he's got some great shots of you. Check out what he's got in the gallery. You can get it printed out here on site, take it home with you today. If not, you can go to buckleyphotos.com to get anything you might need to order. All different kinds of styles, sizes, pictures, you name it. But make sure you check out what Paul has over there in the gallery. So there's the Loud Fuels ride, the 222 of Tasha down to that turn right before the finish line section, the 444. Justin Kukinos still trying to track him down. So there is Tasha. There is Kukinos 1 and 2. Murdoch still third. Cordigiano dropping down to fourth, it looks like. And nice move on the inside. Nolan Fiella takes advantage of a little bit of a mistake. The 101. Oh, and King goes down after the finish. So back down to fourth. And 189 and Nolan Fiella making a charge. He sees a little bit of blood in the water there. And I want to remind folks, please make sure that you are not parking out on the road surface if you have folks that are coming to visit you. And we do need to remind folks there is no consuming of any alcoholic beverages while racing is going on. That is a town ordinance. Please make sure you do not have any alcoholic beverages out while racing is going on. We are underway here with the 85C. So out front here in the whole shot 85C Division 1 on the 127 Manchester Honda KTM. So Riley Burnside holds down the lead. There is St. Laurent in the second spot, the Manchester Honda rider. On the 143, TJ Donahue earned the early third spot. Hannah King running in fourth. Jason Rose rounds out the top five on the 726. Hagan Lilly in sixth. Richie Smith in seventh. Cameron Thurston eighth. Dylan Barnaby ninth. And it is going to be the 734. Aiden Klingon rounding out the top 10 on lap one. And it looks like back out to the front is the 127, so Sam St. Laurent takes the top spot back. 1 lap to go. So St. Laurent, Burnside 1 and 2. There is the 143, TJ Donahue hanging on a third. On the 313, there's Hannah King running in fourth. The 308 of Hagan Lilly now moving into the fifth spot. That's going to put the 43 of Thurston into sixth. All right, there's your leader one more time through the horseshoe turn section. We are looking for the checkered flag. There's the race win on the 127. The Manchester Honda KTM Steve Balboni Factory Connection Thunderbolt MX ride of Sam St. Laurent. Riley Burnside, solid run for the second spot there on the 227. Here's the 140. Yeah, it looks like that is the 800 of Aiden Willett. Actually has some numbers on that front plate there. They're actually Division 2 out on the track right now. Once again, if you're a rider in division racing, you need to make sure you finish in the top 16 to go directly into the second half. If you don't finish 16th or better, you need to go to the LCQ, which will be towards the end of the order. So please make sure you check your results. of Antonio Pizzonia. Hello.
It's not Colin Punch, it's Aiden Olette.
It's Aiden running it?
It's Aiden Olette, number 800.
Oh, okay. Finally refreshed. He had the wrong thing on.
You're calling my son to get to the 65. That's all right. Yep.
All right, so it looks like we're set to go here, 30 plus AB. And that is going to be the 16 Chaplin Motorsports Kenny G's Performance Tuning Ride of John Dowd with the whole shot. Cohen right behind him, though, as they go down the right-hand side. Here we go with the 30 plus B gate drop. And in the B class, Jeremy Musa on the number 2 has the early lead. Musa a little bit of a gap over the rest of the pack. Steve Oldham in second. Keith Johnson running in third. Corey Vieira running in fourth. And it looks like it's going to be Brad Harnott on the 730, rounding out the top 5. Kinsley 7th. And Stager up into the 8th spot. Lazica in 9th, and Chris Clevis rounding out the top 10. And here's the number 2 of Jeremy Musa, still leading in the B class. Musa starting to, actually it's about the same gap. Didn't look like he was actually a little bit farther ahead, but it's about the same gap. Oldham continues to battle with Keith Johnson. Oldham on that Pilgrim Power Sports ride. Johnson on the Winchester Motorsports back KTM. Corey Vieira continues in 4th, and Felipe Pinheiro on the 111, going to round out the top 5 now for the B class. We are down to just 2 to go. And we are down to 1 to go as Dowd makes his way through the start-finish area. Wilcox maintaining that second spot. Jovi's Custom Designs Pirelli ride of John Dowd, the living legend, with the win. Here's the 84 Honda ride. The IMS suspension ride of Mike Wilcox will finish it up in second. So the Loku Excavating IMS suspension rider puts that ride in the second spot. Looking for the 67 Carlo Cohen to finish it up in third. And Phil Mark's going to hang on to fourth. Nathan Martell going at him right till the finish line here. Mark's going to hang tough and hang on to that fourth place on the webcast there. And just hit that tire hard. Bounced him right off the bike. All right, looks like the 30 of Josh Beauregard taking the lead. Jeff Gribbers on the 54 in second, and Sean Taylor in the mix on the 211. They're going to be off in the back left corner. Leader coming down to the horseshoe turn section. So definitely not the day Silva is looking to have here, so he's going to have to get that thing straightened out. Lead is all the way to the back left corner. And looks like it's going to be the 54 of Gribbers taking over the lead. LCQ next off the gate. Riders for the Super Mini LCQ, you should be in the staging area. 65C 7 to 12 riders down to pre-staging. So 65C 7 to 12 LCQ riders down to pre-staging. And first call for the 85C LCQ. All right, Shalita making his way across that inside big right-hand sweeper on the final lap here. And looks like we're going to get set to go here with our LCQs. Got the 250C Riders. This is the 250C LCQ. And looks like the 166 Aaron Redden taking the early lead here. All right, here come your riders down the left-hand side. They're going to come down to that horseshoe turn section. So a lot of changes going on at the front of the pack there. You got the top three riders battling it out. Redden, Parker, and McDonald. All those riders are in transfer spots, so they need to just kind of settle in and keep themselves moving forward. This is a very short race here. So underway here with the Super Mini LCQ. We are dropping these things fast and furious. And that looks to be the 57 of Thomas Kirkulonis on the 45. Poplar Hill Machine Ride in 6th. Picone running in 7th. Kinsley 8th. And right now, it's the 308 of Hagen Lilly with the final ticket to the second half. There's TJ Donahue in 4th. Kirkulonis will round out the top 5. I'm sorry, Kirkulonis will get 6th. Michonne will get 7th. Hagen Lilly looks like she's going to get 8th, and it's going to be the 47 of Adam Kinsley with the final ticket to the second half here in the Super Mini. So there's your leader down to the horseshoe turn section. So the 47 KTM ride out in front here. Solid lead. Got to get that thing smoothed out. But Ed Rowell has the lead right now. So Rowell making his way out of the S-turn section all the way in the back left corner. Going to get set to go here in just a few moments with the 85C LC third. The 43 across the line for fourth is Eric Franklin. Rounding out the top five, it's going to be the 33 of Camden Morgano. In sixth on the 17 is Ginger Osgood. Blake Milton, the 823 across the line in seventh. On the 01, Keegan Cowell come across the line in the eighth spot. Oh, and that rider with the problem in the horseshoe turn. That might be the final transfer. And it looks like the 32 across the line. So the 48 of Weidler actually is going to get the ninth spot there. Once again, want to make sure you check your results for the LCQs. See where you finished. You need to be top 8. And a rider down in the horseshoe turn. Looked like your leader went down there. And that is bad news. When you're out front in the LCQ, that's the last thing you want to do is give up any spots. So out front with the lead, it's going to be the 154. That is Dylan Perry. Dylan Martin in the Martin in the second spot. Jake Lincourt in third. Morgano, the early leader, in fourth. Gendron running in fifth. Tyler Seagal running in sixth. Keegan Buchigos in seventh. And Pete Shaw, the 14, has the final ticket to the second half here in the eighth spot. So Martin with the win. Tanner Morgano across the line second. Dylan Perry third. Nathan Gendron fourth. Tyler Seagal, the 311, rounds out the top five. Justin Dickey on the 55 gets the seventh spot and is going to go to Dan Choquette. So Copel executes another great start there as he's going to lead him down the right-hand side. right, so Koval with the early lead. It looks like it's going to be the DF Plumbing ride of Vincent Artizoni making the move to second early on. And the 16, Gavin LaRose making the move up to third. Perkins going to move to fourth on the number 10. Looks like the 136 of Norona. Going to move into fifth. Artizoni on the number 7, running in the 6th spot now. And looks like Nettleton right there on Artizoni. So the 928 trying to get that spot. Quinn continues 8th. Barbosa 9th. Owen Koval with the win. So going to get set to drop the gate here with the 250A. There is Travis Marsh. There's Robinson in the 238. DeLowry on the 603. That's your top three. Borello in fourth. Cohen running in fifth. Corey Rousseau on the 66, running in the 6th spot. Sean McDonald in 7th. Ryan Dowd running in the 8th spot on the Chaplin Motorsports. Kenny G's Performance Tuning Moose Racing Factory Connection ride. So it's still Travis Marsh, Ben Robinson, Pat DeLowry, John Borello, Corey Rousseau, James Cohen, Sean McDonald, Ryan Dowd, Joey Taranto, and Ricky Langella. The running order here in the lights A. So Marsh, a solid jump off the gate. He's been out front here. So Marsh, the 431, airing out that option tabletop as he goes to the back left corner. So Marsh and Robinson still 1 and 2. DeLowry on the 603 hanging on at third, but he's got the 88 of Borello all over him here on the final lap. And these guys have no strange at racing each other, so I would expect we'll see some hard racing here. So the race win in the A class on the 431 is going to go to Travis Marsh. Ben Robinson second. And the Bubba's Motorsports ride of Pat DeLowry is just going to hang on to third. He had Borello right on him there. Borello will have to settle for fourth, and it's going to be Corey Rousseau rounding out the top five. We are underway here in the Lights B. And that looked to be the 747 of Fleming with the whole shot here for the 250B. Kirk rounds out the top five. Joe Stewart 6, Josh Pease 7, Guillaume 8, Tyler Sumis 9th, and Jeremy Wallstrom going to round out the top 10 on lap 1. So it looks like Fleming does not have his transponder on. Bound to happen. So we are winding down the final lap here. Looks like Fleming all the way in the back left corner. And that one looked to be the 1-2-5 of Aaron Gadd with the whole shot. So Gadd going to lead him down that center section. Going to make that big sweeping right-hander. John Pessoa 7th, Justin St. John 8th, Brian Llewellyn 9th, and Matt Cashman on the 65 is going to round out the top 10 on 1. Third, Justin St. John 4th. Dominic Pachon now in 5th. Aaron Gadd 6th. Brian Llewellyn 7th. Tyler Burnside all the way down to 8th. Matt Cole 9th. And Matt Cashman is going to round out the top 10. So disaster there for the 277 of Tyler Burnside. third. And looks like Justin St. John, Dominic Pachon, fourth and fifth. What a battle right down to the finish there. So Nick Hooper, he's running. He's going to end up with second. Pablo Suarez will get third. Juan Salmon there. Look like he's going to get scored by hand. I'm not sure what happened with that one, but we got it. That is going to do it for 250C. All right, so leaders all the way in the back left corner here in the 65 AB. So race number 6 here in the order, the 65 AB out on the track. 65 novice going to be next off the gate. Riders in the 40 AB, you should be in the staging area. And youth AB riders, you should be in pre-staging. So watching the 26, Justin Allen make his way through the off-camber turn section all the way down that big rhythm section in the center. And he's going to head off to the back left corner on the 26 Cobra ride. Fourth, Larry Fortin into the 5th place spot now on the 111. And it looks like he is putting a bead on the 61 of Friedman. He's going to get him after the finish. And that looked like the 18X of Shane Andrews. Big jump to the turn. Coming down to the horseshoe turn out front here for the 65C. So there's the 255 Barnaby out front. 734 of Klingen in the second spot. Running in third on the number 800. That is Colin Pouch. Matt Hanisch in fourth. Dylan Barnaby rounds out the top five on the 978. Ed Rowell in sixth on the 47X. Devin O'Leary in seventh, the 465. It looks like there is Barnaby and Klingen 1 and 2 out of the horseshoe turn section. One to go here as the 255 of Logan Barnaby. All right, so Barnaby and Klingen out in the back corner. And it looks like the 255 still holding down the top spot here. So just about going to get ready here with the 40 plus AB. All right, looks like it is going to be Dowd coming out of the back left corner out front here in the 40A. So it is Dowd and so 2 to go here as Dowd and Johnson make their way through 1 and 2 in the 40A. Chaplin Motorsports Kenny G Performance Tuning Ride of John Dowd. And the Alias 60 Factory Connection Ride of Keith Johnson across the line in second. The IMS Suspension Luco Excavating Land Air Axo Ride of Mike Wilcox going to hang on a third. AB on the 747 Honda, Will Fleming. So it was John Dowd, Keith Johnson, Mike Wilcox, Nathan Martell, Colin Cohen, top five in the 40A. Rob Klingon, Kevin Alangina, Adam Villeneuve, Frank Boron, Mountaintop Trucking, Curtis Excavating Ride. Five. Yeah. Got it, man. All right, so once again, Bushy with the lead right here, right now in the Youth AV. Hey, we got a rider looking for a part. If you can help him out, rider number 802, Jason Green, looking for a KX250 swing arm nut. He's got the bolt that goes on it. He needs a swing arm nut. So if you got a swing arm nut that'll fit a KX250, it's an 04. Find rider number 802, Jason Green, looking for that. Looks like got a ride with a hand up down there on the gate, so just a minute before we get underway with Youth Novice. All right, so Seville coming out of that horseshoe turn section, continuing to run out front. He's going to get the 2-lap board this time around. And things are starting to get hectic behind him. So there is Seville, 356. And coming out of the S-turn section, Kevin Hill going to make the pass on Willis. So Burnside holds the lead, but now it's going to be Kevin Hill making a move to second. Willis drops to third. Just ran out of horsepower there in that big sweeping turn. Tough break there for the 26 of Dusty Snyder out of this one with a moto failure. Once again, 936 and 935, 986, I'm sorry, 986X and 935. That's please return those rented transponders. You borrowed transponders down from the start gate. Please. So there is the 20. Allen out front. The 62 in the second spot is Tristan King. On the 111, Larry Fortin running into third position here. The 185, Grantley Carter running fourth. Rounding out the top five, it's going to be the 255 of Logan Barnaby. In the sixth spot, it's Trevor Palat on the 821. Aiden Klingen in seventh. Cody Sheedy eighth on the 813. And then it's going to be the 800, Colin Pouch in ninth, and Ed Rowell on the 47X rounding out the top 10. So the battle on the track right now, Tristan King trying to hold off the 111 of Larry Fortin. That's the battle for second place. Race win here in the 65 Open to go to the 26 of Justin Allen, the Cactus Jacks KTM rider. And coming down to the finish line turn, second place is going to be the 62 of Tristan King. Larry Fortin, the Manchester Honda KTM rider, across the line to finish it up. All right, looks like we are set to go here with the 40-plus novice. Looks like the 100 of John Thomas starting to put the pressure on the leader a little bit here. So there is the 211 out front. Sean Taylor holding down the lead, but it looks like Thomas has definitely closed up the gap on him. He was putting some pressure on out in the back left corner. We'll see if Thomas can do something to force Thomas making a run at the leader up that center rhythm section there, but the 211 of Taylor able to hold him off. And some yellow flags flying out there. So there's the leader coming down the left-hand side over that big tabletop on the 211s. So counting down the final lap here in the 40-plus novice. Looking for the 211 of Sean Taylor to see if he can hang on to where he is for this. All right, down that center rhythm section, it's going to be the 444. Justin Cucchino's taking away the lead from the 73 of Cordigiano. Go ahead, Pete. Copy that. So Justin Cucchino's making his way on that center rhythm section. He's going to go through the big sweeping right-hander on his way to the back left corner. About a half a lap to go for the rider on the 444. All right, so underway. So there is the 23, Josh Clark in front, the Clark's Racing rider. John Dowd on the number 16, Chapman Motorsports ride in second. The Monster Energy Team Green ride of Keith Johnson running in third. Travis Marsh on the 431 running fourth. John Barillo rounds out the top five. Ben Robinson sixth. Sean McDonald running in the seventh spot on the Custom Sprocket Bazooka Joe's Factory Performance Fly K-Ray Graphics ride. Corey Rousseau in eighth. Ryan Dowd, the 716, running in the ninth spot, and it's going to be the 603 Bubba's Motorsports Honda ride of Pat DeLowry rounding out the top 10. Clark, John Dowd, Keith Johnson, Travis Marsh, and John Barillo. There is Robinson running in sixth, the 66 of Rousseau in seventh. Sean McDonald in the eighth spot now. Ryan Dowd in ninth, but it looks like Rousseau going to make a mistake after the finish. He's going to lose a couple of spots. And it looks like DeLowry is still rounding out the top 10. Out in front, it looked like Barella was the only one switching up the line onto the outside there. They went through the start turn. Everyone else is pounding that inside line, which is rough and rutted as the day is long. I got the no charge to use the rest of the day. I didn't hear the first part.
Any riders that were unable to rent a transponder, we have some now. They want to finish their day with laptops. They can come up.
Okay, copy that.
No charge.
Gotcha. Arrow with the whole shot, but I think the 45 of Jake Shanus is going to take it out of turn 2. Tyler Sumas 9th and Corey Vieira, the 628, going to round out the top 10 here on lap 1. Sumas 8th, Steve Brady 9th, and Jamie Green now on the 91 is going to round out the top 10. Go ahead, Badon. So there is the 45 of Jake Shanus across that inside, big sweeping right-hander. Looks like Neff is going to get that spot back from the 30 of Eric Burns. So that one's a back and forth battle. I think that one's going to be right till the checkered flag. That's going to be the 900. Kyle Burke with the whole shot here for the 450C. And trouble again. So Kyle Burke, Cameron Campbell, 1 and 2. There's the 410 to Cole Hall in third. On the 26, up into the fourth spot is Casey McNamara. The 121, Alex Adams is going to round out the top 5. Jesse Asado running in 6th. Mike Germain running in the 7th spot on the Kenny G's Performance Tuning Ride. Andy Browski in 8th on the 151. Jake Walker 9th. Cameron Campbell, so there's your 1 and 2. And it looks like Cole Hall still hanging on to that 3rd spot. Things starting to tighten up behind him there as the battle 4th, 5th, and 6th starting to get a little bit close. And another rider having problems in that big horseshoe turn section there, that tight inside line. You get into that and you get a little more engine braking than you were ready for, and that adds up to a stalled engine every single time. Around, we'll see how things shape up. So one lap board is out this time around, actually. There's the 900 of Kyle Burke, 1 to go. Cameron Campbell on the number 7, having a solid second place performance going here. He's just going to have to keep it upright for another time around. And there is the 410. So Cole Hall riding a good race too. Jake Walker on the 46. Good run there on that KTM. Walker moving into the full-size bike this year. So there is the 900. Kyle Burke coming through that horseshoe turn section one last time. He is going to get the checkered flag for the race win. Cameron Campbell will hang on to second. And it looks like Hall is just going to hang on to that 3rd spot. Jake Walker going to give another run at the finish line turn here. And going to run out of time. Solid run, though, on the 46, putting pressure on the 40. And it looks like we're going to have the women's gate drop first. I'm sorry, the 50-plus gate drop will come off first, it looks like. Alrighty, here we go. So there's your leader in the 50-plus coming down to the inside section of that horseshoe turn. So Martel out front. Looks like Druin making a move into the 2nd spot. There's the number 3 of Lance Benjamino running in 3rd. And looks to be the 8. I'm going to say in the gallery. You can get it printed up here and take it home with you today. And if you also want to do some orders on some specialty items, calendars, posters, coffee mugs, you name it, he's got all the info down there, or you can always go online to buckleyphotos.com for all the info. It's about the easiest ordering site you'll ever have. Pick out your pictures, pick out what you want to put it on, and you are set to go. It shows up at your house right after that. Doesn't get better than that. So once again, make sure you stop and see Paul down at the Buckley Photos rig and see what he's got in the gallery. Looking at Martel making his way through the horseshoe turn section. He's going to get the one lap. And things still pretty well spread out here in both of the classes. Kendall Chase, Alyssa Caputo, Jessica Fahey, top three in the women's class. Nathan Martel, Bert Drew, and Jim Nerona, top three in the 50 plus. Women's class, the 38 of Fahey will hold on in the third. And we are going to get set to go here now with the two-stroke open. So there's the 8:55 of Breen Burke making his way down to the finish line turn out front. Solid lead early on. The 170 into second is Steve Brady. Cordigiano drops back to third. The 801 of Nathan Garrity fourth. And it's going to be the Mountaintop Trucking Curtis Excavating Ride. All right, so here is your leader making his way through the horseshoe turn section on the last time through, and that's going to be the checkered flag. And the race win here in the two-stroke open. That's the 8:55 Yamaha ride of Breen Burke. He'll take the win. There's the 170 of Brady. He's going to hang on to the second spot. Garrity gets third. Cordigiano fourth. And it's going to be the Mountaintop Trucking Curtis Excavating ride of Justin. So Owen Coble out front here as they come through that center rhythm section. to the back left corner looking for your leader on the 24. He's going to drop out of those S turns there. So Koval, Martin, Artizoni, Perkins, Nerona, top 5. Charles Quinn in 6th. Eric Franklin 7th. Juliana Walker 8th on the Strictly Cobra ride. Joseph Bruthers running in 9th. And it's Ginger Osgood rounding out the top 10.